What is this?
This is a complete quick strut assembly.
It's a strut?
This is a strut right
You
here.
want to see my strut? That's my, okay.
I don't have a strut.
Okay, I'm sorry. Cut. Okay, so in all seriousness, what does a strut do? What is a
Okay.
shock? What is a strut?
The shock is what keeps the tire to the road, and the tire having a good contact with the road is what gives your vehicle stability in braking, turns, all that kind of stuff. So shocks and struts are very important to the handling of a vehicle. When your shocks and struts are worn where they're wiped out, the car wallows through turns, okay? So your stability and handling is affected by that. It also causes the tire to bounce up and down, which loses contact with the road and also causes the tire to cup or wear. Obviously, then your tires need to be replaced more often.
How often do shocks and struts need replaced?
Okay, experts say that shocks and struts, 50,000 miles is kind of the industry standard for replacing shocks and struts. Obviously, they can blow out prematurely with leaking oil, okay, those kind of signs. Those are things that, again, we're going to go back to my inspection, why you want a professional looking at your car every time you get it serviced to identify shocks that are blown out.
Is that part of the service inspection, is checking the shocks and struts?
We do a 31-point safety inspection, so we're going to be looking at belts, hoses, front suspension parts, tires, fluids, all those type of things every time that vehicle gets serviced.
And then by having the relationship with you, you maybe have seen some things that show an indication that next time maybe we need to check it again, or how does that work?
Well, for instance, if we start seeing some tire cupping in there, we can assume, even though the struts may not be leaking, that maybe there's a reason for that happening. So now we look at mileage, we talk to you about, have you had shocks or struts done before? And then we figure out, hey, this is going to be a major expense. Get it on the books, be planning for it so that you can restore that vehicle's ride to its, original comfort.
So from the sounds of it, with shocks and struts and many of the other things we've learned, really a lot of this has to do with making sure the car is safe for travel, right?
Absolutely. We're getting into the fall weather where we're going to have slippery, wet roads, leaves, all those kind of things going on. Then we're going to get into snow, okay? We need the tire surface on the road. We need full contact, so we have full braking ability, full handling ability. We're going to be traveling for the holidays and things like this. The family needs to be safe. Shocks and struts are a vital component of that. Even braking, when you brake and your shocks are weak, you'll notice the nose of the car dive down like that. That just increases braking distance. So we definitely, that's when you're going to need to replace struts, and all of a sudden your car's going to start performing, handling, and braking like it should.
So the service inspection is a critical part for any family, any driver when it comes to safety.
Absolutely.
If somebody's having a problem, is it possible to just change one of these, or do you have to change all four at the same time?
To restore the vehicle's ride to its original condition, you want to replace it on all four corners. So we have 2 front struts, 2 rear shocks on this vehicle here. Some vehicles will have 4 struts, but it's best, sometimes you can do just a front pair, okay, if the rears feel like they're okay and it comes to a financial issue, but it's best to restore the ride by replacing all 4 corners. And again, manufacturers are recommending that we replace shocks and struts at 50,000 miles.
Okay, so here's my question. I've heard that these things struts are kind of expensive. Is that true?
Typically, it's a pretty costly job. We have promotions on shocks and struts throughout the year. Matter of fact, right now in October, it's Shocktober, so we have a buy 4 for the price of 3. But throughout the year, spring, summer, we always have some type of promotion on this to help keep the cost of replacing shocks and struts down.
Hold it down and
yep. Push
do
that
what?
one. Push that one in.
Push it in?
Yep. Push it in. This is
Oh, hydraulics.
hydraulics.